What's up to anybody that happened to stumble across this video? I wanted to make this video on the GoldenEye series for the Cold Steel knives. They're excellent knives. I like them a lot. There are some issues, obviously there are with every knife. And let's get into it. I'll try to make this as short as possible. Obviously this is not from the GoldenEye series, but they have the same shark mouth thing in there, and you'll notice it's not in any of these knives. There's a reason for that, because it will chew your thumb up, and there's some proof. You can see the raspiness of it. You can also see some dirt under my nail there. It's from polishing that blade. I was trying to do some bluing on the Night Force. Anyway, the Night Force had it was less abrupt, I guess you can say, less abusive. That's the word for it. And I kept it in there for days, and my thumb was sore, and I was kind of thinking it was from the triad lock. You know how they're stiff on these knives. But really, nah, it was still chewing my thumb up. It just didn't chew it up as much because it's summertime, my hands aren't as dry. First knife I got was this one, obviously the cheaper one. Right off the bat, I knew the golden nipple ring was gonna be horrible. And it did, it just chewed my finger up. I got it the day before, I brought it to work, and it literally was to the point where you could see red. I was about to bleed. So I went in my workshop at work and took a round file and filed it out of there because I couldn't find a star wrench that was small enough for this hole. Turns out this is an Allen wrench, by the way, and if you have the iFixit tool, it will take that right out. It's the smallest Allen in the iFixit, what do you call those, driver set. So that's how you can get those out, and they don't really Loctite them in too much. There's Loctite, but it's not the red stuff. But these knives are excellent, excellent knives. I mean, they're hollow ground, which, you know, has its issues, but beautifully done, razor sharp out of the box. Of course, rough G10, which I sanded this down. I always sand down my Cold Steels. A lot of people don't like this clip because of the color or whatever. They want to complain about something. I think it's a great contrast. I think it's a great change. It's different than what most people have done. It's not overly stiff. It's not under stiff. It's perfect once you sand the G10 down. It's the G10 that causes the problem. But these knives are great. You know, they're not great for playing if you're a player like I am. You know, they're hard to flip out. See, it's stiff if you don't want blade play, but you can flip them out with wrist. I chamfered the holes after I took the golden monkey hook out. I messed up a little bit there with the chamfering, but excellent knife. I love it. Great blades, super sharp, great blade geometry, great handle geometry on all. Well, these two are better than the Night Force. They're for me, which it's difficult with people in their hands, you know, when you have the finger grooves, but they fit perfect for my hand, and I love them. A little thin, but I like that. They're great thin in pocket. Some people complain about wide. They're not as wide. Well, they're pretty wide in pocket, but I keep all my knives in the back pocket, as I've stated before. Not an issue to me. I love these knives. This knife I wasn't going to buy it because of the price of it. It was just so much more. I think it's double. I don't remember right now. I don't know the prices of these, and I failed to look it up. But it's basically like double the price of the original. And I was like, I'm not doing that just for G10. And then I went on Midway, and let me adjust some lighting here. I think it's getting crazy. No, maybe not. What am I going to do? But on Midway, it was, I'll just do that. Big sale. I think I got it for under $200, which is a big step. They had a clearance sale on it. So I said, let me buy this thing. I've always wanted it. It's the Golden Monkey Turd Elite. And wow. This has set the standard, I should say, for carbon fiber for me. Because the way they did it, it's true, it's real, it's all the way through. You could see the waves in here. That's how you could always tell a good G10. You know, it's not laminate or anything like that. The feel of it, it's not that polished crap that they came out with this Night Force and like the Modus did, where it feels real cheesy and chintzy and crappy. This almost feels like slate when you hold it, but without the weight. It just has this amazing feel to it. If you're a guy that likes textures of things, you're going to love Cold Steel's carbon fiber. It's amazing. I love this knife because of that. I mean, it's the same exact knife as this, but with just amazing, amazing feel to the fiber. I love it. So I definitely recommend this knife if you can find it on sale. I mean, I know it's a stretch to buy it because you know what you're getting, you know, for the most part. It's no different. It's got the Teflon washers with the really thin phosphor bronze washers. They all do. And actions aren't, you know, play friendly. They drop pretty good when you get, you know, drop straight down, but flicking them out, you know how it is being a knife guy. But this knife, highly recommended. This knife, highly recommended for the price. I mean, it's a workhorse. You won't be able to say anything bad about this knife. It'll do all your work. It's awesome. I love it. You got to get one. You know? But if you really like carbon fiber, I recommend this because the carbon fiber on this is way better than my 770. This is rough, shitty. I don't know. You could even see a little bit the highlight, the way it's hard to get it on the camera. Let's see if I can focus in on it. Look, it doesn't even look how the pattern looks broken up, right? Whereas if you look at this knife, you have a beautiful pattern. It's even. It's uniform. It's like fish scales, for crying out loud. But then you get to this, look, the light doesn't hit it right. It's messed up. And it's rough. It's pretty crappy on this one. Maybe I got a bad one. I don't know. I can only go by what I had. I have, my only other carbon fiber is on the 0562, and beautiful pattern, beautiful carbon fiber. It does not feel, it's nice, but it just doesn't have the feel that the Cold Steel does. So I gotta say, they really outdid themselves with that. Let's get some focus. Then you get the Night Force. I just got this. And like I said, I didn't realize it was tearing up my finger. So I took the ring out. It has a very gray blade. Most of what you're going to see usually is this. It's Damascus, and it is true Damascus. It's N690 and what they call Nitro B. Trying to focus in on it here. And it's not doing it. So, awesome pattern. Very light. What I did try to do today, I tried to blue it. I like to blue my knives that will take bluing. I did that on my Skyline. It's got some thumbprints on it or whatever now, but it was much more beautiful than this. But you could see it really took the bluing and showed the highlights of the different steels. But this one will not take it, so you will not be able to blue this knife. Again, I took the monkey nuts out. And I also sanded down. You'll notice this isn't as shiny as it appears on the websites and everything, because I took it apart and sanded it down. it had a very chintzy feel to it. Now it has more texture. You actually have a little bit of grip. I didn't do a great job because you can see there's still some highlights there. I was rushing at night, but great knife. The only thing I will say, it's not as sharp out of the box as almost all other Cold Steels. You had this thing, I took that out. Easier to take out than these. And the only other thing that I would say is a negative is this will definitely cause a hot spot, your pocket clip. Where it hits your hand, it's just annoying. Like you could see right there. See that? That's just from gripping it. And look, I got it again because I gripped it in a different spot. But if you were to bear down, you're gonna get a hot spot, definitely, when you start seeing that. That's from both sides. So that's kind of stupid. It needs to be lower and maybe a little more drawn out. I can understand why they didn't want to bring it too much farther, I guess, because I don't know. You know, these are pretty far in. You look at where they go, almost to, yeah, to your middle finger. This one only just to there. You know, it's just not ideal. Otherwise, I love the knife. I haven't used it too much. Like I said, I just got it the other day. These knives, I love them. I highly recommend them. And if you can afford this one, you will love the carbon fiber. No doubt about it. Great knives. You got to look into them. I just like this one now because it's big. You know, it's murdery, as the Nick would say, but it's a great knife. It's thin. It's thin just like these. It's not as thick as the Recon 1, although the Recon 1, like I said, feels better in hand. It's just a great knife. All very good knives, well built, just with the issues they have. That's pretty much about it. You can't go wrong buying them. I would say only buy this if you could find it on sale. Look on Midway. They have sales all the time. And I just want to throw in a real quick thing. I had mentioned it in my other video on the Recon 1, actually. And I was talking about the PM2 and how the original had a smaller blade than the one I had in my pocket. The brown one, the S35 VN. And I just wanted to throw it out there that I contacted Spyderco. And within, you can see that, it's lining up the handles. Let me show it. See, lined up. You can see the length difference. And within like a day, the guy contacted me and he said, I hadn't heard about this issue. I'm going to look into it. And I said, great. You know, I'm very interested, especially now that you said you haven't heard about it. And I never heard back. So about 2 or 3 days ago, I contacted him. I said, I think his name was Kevin. I haven't heard back from you. What's going on? You know, what have you heard? Nothing. And then one of my subscribers made a comment on that video that he has the M390 version of this knife, and he has many PM2s, to put it as he said it, many, or a bunch. I think it was a bunch. And he said that one, his M390, was longer than the rest. And he said maybe it's a sprint run thing. And that's what I'm thinking, because this is like an exclusive run. Even though it's on a bunch of sites, I don't get it. They call it an exclusive run. So I don't know. That saga's continuing. But I wanted to give an update on that because I'm starting to get suspicious of Spyderco here. So that's about it. Keep knifing.